Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 4.
News for you this afternoon. Grand Forks Mayor Brandon Bochenski has signed an emergency order lifting the previous order about liquor license holders having to close at 11 p.m. The new order will go into effect at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. The mayor says they have seen less COVID-19 case numbers in the past 2 weeks, and it's time to lift the restriction. Mayor Bochenski still strongly encourages bars and restaurants to keep the 50% capacity guidelines from the state of North Dakota. And other stories making headlines right now. 5 people were arrested this morning after police say a search warrant at a North Fargo home turned up marijuana, guns, and thousands of dollars of cash. The house is at 824 9th Street North. The search warrant was tied to a drug use and child neglect investigation. The baby inside the home was put into protective custody. And 2 popular bars in Grand Forks have been found to be in violation of the American with Disabilities Act. U.S. Attorney Drew Wrigley said that his office is working on settlement agreements with Joe Black's Bar and Grill and the Hub Pub. They found that neither restaurant had dining or gaming spaces for people using wheelchairs. And President Trump's campaign event in Bemidji will start at a new time this Friday. The event will be held at Bemidji Aviation Services with doors opening at 3 p.m. The president will be speaking at 6. We'll have the very latest on the president's visit right here on Valley News Live. And the West Fargo Fire Department and Police Department says they found a runaway teen thanks to their Project Lifesaver program. Police say it's a public safety search and rescue program used for people with cognitive conditions. We'll have much more on this story tonight on Valley News Live at 10. And that's a top look at your 4 at 4. Now let's head over to meteorologist Hutch Johnson with your first alert forecast.
Thanks so much, Callie. Well, it's Tuesday and it's been a smoggy and definitely cooler than forecast day. So I'm going to take ownership of that right now. Nowhere near 80, but we've hit that 70-degree mark in the Fargo area. Right now you're looking at Home of Economy in Devil's Lake. A lot of clouds moving in. And from the north winds, a cool front passing through, and temperatures are about to change as we close out our week. Here's a look across the region. There's your Devil's Lake reading, 63 there. Still in the 60s at Hector International, with 80s down in South Dakota, near 90 for Pierre. Your forecast in Fargo tonight looks like this. We'll be near 70 degrees through around 6 o'clock, then clearing skies, and the wind actually increases a little bit overnight, and we're going to usher in some mighty chilly air, Callie, as we go through midweek. I'll have details on how low we go coming up here in just a little bit, and we'll talk about the glance at that weekend as well in just a few minutes.
We look forward to it. Thanks, Hutch. And as Valley News Live investigates, we found out that a troubled nursing home in Minnesota has been cited for abuse, potentially impacting its ability to receive federal funds. The facility was called out by the state in May for its COVID-19 response. Valley News team's Joshua Piguero is on this story and joins us live from the nursing home. Now, Joshua, what did you find out?
Callie, federal inspectors found that the Moorhead Rehabilitation and Healthcare Center right behind me failed to report an abuse between residents. Now, a report that was released in December was done by the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. It states that 2 residents got into a verbal altercation, with one alleging emotional and mental abuse. An investigation uncovered that an employee did not report the incident immediately, violating federal policy. Moorhead Rehab is also under the Special Facility Focus Program. Now, this is a program that provides increased federal oversight to troubled nursing homes. I spoke with an advocacy group for Minnesota nursing homes, and it says graduating from the SFF is very hard to do.
As a profession, we don't hide behind, this didn't happen. If it did happen, and if it was substantiated, they need to work on that.
Now at 6 o'clock, Callie, I break down the report that was issued by the federal government, and I also get a statement from the facility right behind me. I'm gonna send it right back to you in the studio. Reporting live in Moorhead, Joshua Piguero, Valley News Live.
Thank you, Joshua. We look forward to seeing your story. And in Minnesota, the Department of Health is reporting 432 new confirmed cases of COVID-19, along with 5 new deaths linked to the illness. In North Dakota, there's an over 12% positivity rate. There are 235 new cases, along with 2 more deaths in the state. The death toll now sits at 172. And for those who ride the Amtrak train, there will be some changes coming in the next month. Amtrak says ridership is going down and revenue is drying up. Along with cutting 20% of its staff, Amtrak will only be running tri-weekly, meaning the train will only stop in Fargo 3 times a week. And investigators say South Dakota Attorney General Jason Ravensborg reported hitting a deer following a crash that left a Highmore man dead. The family of the victim is calling for more information to be released.
The crash occurred on Highway 14 west of Highmore in Hyde County. The Attorney General says he thought he hit a deer, but did not realize he had hit a person until the body was found Sunday. Ravensborg had been in Redfield Saturday for the Spink County Lincoln Day dinner. It is not yet clear whether or not alcohol or speed was a factor, but a spokesperson for Ravensborg said the Attorney General had made it a practice not to drink at those events. We did look into Ravensborg's driving record and found out he has a history of speeding. A search shows that he had 6 speeding tickets between 2014 and 2018. A majority of them were for driving 5 or 10 miles over the speed limit. However, one traffic stop cited him for driving 85 in a 65 in 2015. And another clocked him driving 80 in a 65 in 2018. Sunday, the Attorney General did release a statement saying, quote, "I am shocked and filled with sorrow following the events of last night." The South Dakota Highway Patrol continues to investigate the incident.
As far as the response to a fatality crash, we have officers that are responding. We have officers that are highly trained in investigating these types of incidents, and they're the ones that are working the incident.
Officials have not mentioned whether any charges are pending.
Governor Kristi Noem spoke in a briefing today saying they cannot release any details about the investigation because it's still ongoing. And Goldmark sent a letter to its residents saying they will install extra security on garages. This comes as the Fargo Police Department is seeing a rise in garage break-ins across the city. Goldmark says it will put deadbolts on attached garage doors and keypads on garages. And the Polk County Sheriff's Office is warning the community about an IRS phone scam. Police have got many reports of callers with 218 area codes claiming that they're from the IRS and owe payment. If money isn't given, then they threaten to arrest you. Police are reminding everyone to not give out any personal information, and the IRS normally contacts taxpayers through mail. And at Crosby, North Dakota, farmers' life turned nearly impossible last week until family and friends stepped in to help. Lane Unjum's combine caught fire, then he suffered a heart attack. But as Alicia Tanner reports, his neighbors won't let his crops go unharvested.
Around 60 farmers in Divide County put their own harvesting on hold to cut 1,000 acres for a neighbor using their own farm equipment. 11 combines, 6 grain carts, and 15 semis were used to get Lane Unjum's crop in the bin. When friends heard about Unjum's situation last week, they immediately started coordinating an effort to help him out.
I talked to a couple of farmers, got their equipment, and then other people just started calling. And we had equipment offered from all over the place in the county and their workers to go with it.
Those who helped say letting the Unjum's crops go unharvested would have been a big loss for the family, and helping out was just common sense.
Everybody knows the Unjums, and they're good people and good in the community, and just kind of the farming way of life too. You help your neighbor out when they need it and don't expect anything in return.
Lane Unjum was flown to Minot, where he is in stable condition, but his family says he has a long road of recovery ahead.
It took the farmer 7.5 hours to harvest 1,000 acres of durum wheat and canola. President Trump oversaw historic peace agreements at the White House today. Those details are coming up later on Valley News Live at 4.
And that good old Mr. Sunshine had problems seeing through the smoke and haze over Moorhead today, captured by me today, taking a few pictures of that sun. We'll have details on when the smoke goes away, but we'll talk about the cold that's on its way right after this.